Do you struggle with hot foiling? Is hot foiling a menace in your existence? Stick around and we're going to talk about things to help you and talk through my struggles. All right, for my cards, I'm using the Gnome Storytime Gnome Stamp and Die Set from this month's club kit from Spellbinders. I'm also using the Poinsettia Spray Hot Foil Plate from Spellbinders. It's October's 2022 club. All right, so as you can see, I'm already struggling with my hot foil. I have the worst time of getting my foil on the plate. Do y'all have that struggle? Well, I also have problems of letting it not foil all the way. Do y'all have that problem? Let's talk about things that you can do to fix it. You could actually use what you're supposed to do is a piece of the best ever craft tape and hold the foil down. And as you can see, Rick does not know what the heck he's doing. So I almost foiled the wrong thing. That would have been awful. So if you tape your foil to your hot foil plate, that helps with getting it lined up better. So we're going to run this through again. I'm going to take a sand eraser and remove any excess overfoiling, because if you're like me, you always have overfoiling. God knows I do. All right, so I pulled that off. There's that one, and it's a little bit better. I almost freaked out because I had that big piece of foil there. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to move that foil plate off and onto my little hot foil mat over there, and I'm going to take and do my sentiment. Next problem. I was trying to be conservative and use a scrap piece of foil to do this, and did not turn out very well. Rick had to do this again. So we're going to run that through. As you can see, I'm going ahead and removing my overfoiling as I am working, which probably the problem too. Maybe I'm doing too much. Anyway, so we're going to pull this off, and you can see not only did I get overfoiling, but it double foiled. It jumped. So we're going to cut a piece of scrap foil off, and we're going to lay that right in the center of the cardstock to try to fix this, and it worked like a dream. So I guess my problem was, one, I had it up too high, and two, I had too big of a piece of foil. And then I ran it through. I guess I ran it maybe through a little too fast, and it overfoiled, double foiled. All right, so I'm going to take that one off, and it came out just fine. So I did all my foiling for this card first. Now I'm going to take and do my die cutting. So the rest of the card goes pretty well. I don't know about if y'all have, if it's just me and I have some kind of something against foiling. I don't know what it is, but this was obviously not a good foiling day. But it all worked out in the end, which is the whole point of this title. Even though you might be having a bad day foiling, keep at it, because it's going to get better. Now, see how I didn't get everything foiled there? That's okay, because we're going to cut this thing out anyway, and we're going to use it. Which takes us back to what happens if you don't get everything foiled. By George, use it anyway. I'm going to show you how to way to use that. So I'm going to cut everything out with its matching dies. And I'm going to run that through the die cutting machine over off to the side. We're just taping everything down with some Easy C tape. And you can see even that one didn't foil all the way in certain spots, but I don't care. I'm going to use it anyway. Foil is too expensive and too precious to not use the thing. So I figured out I can take and make a card anyway. But before we go on, we're going to move on to doing our stamping for our card. So I'm taking the little Storytime Gnome, and I'm going to stamp him out. I'm taking the one that's reading the book. And since this is for my Gingerbread Greetings series, this is our March Gingerbread Greeting card, our Christmas card series for the whole year. We're going to stamp our little gnome out using some rich cocoa ink, and we'll get back to some more foiling problems in a minute after we get our gnome stamped and colored. So we're going to stamp him up, and we're going to stamp him twice because I decided I wanted to put one on the outside and on the inside of the card. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But anyway, neither here nor there. There's the cute little stamp set, and you can get the club kit until the 26th or 27th of March. All right, so we're going to be doing coloring with our Spectrum Noir TriBlend brush markers today. And I'm starting off with my dull green blend because I'm going to talk you through the coloring, and then we'll talk more about how to get back to the foiling in a minute. Once we start making the card, you can see my solution to that problem. So I am starting, if you have never used the TriBlend markers, there's 3 markers in one, a light, medium, and a dark. So you always start with the light and the TriBlends. It's a little easier. They even recommend that you do it. And I came in with my medium, my dark shade, added my darks. I'm going to add my medium shade there. And to me, the medium looks darker than the dark. So I think something's screwed up, but we'll see. But I'm going to fix that anyway. I'm going to take and do a tip to tip and just scrub off on the block and just pick that color up and blend that out. And it works like a dream. So remember to do tip to tip if you have problems like that, y'all. Because anything can be fixed. I ain't starting over. That just ain't going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and do a second layer of color there just to shade that in just a little bit. And I'm going to show you another little trick to how to add a little sentiment onto this later on. So stick around. I am full of it today. All right, we're going to do the other side of our little book cover. And we are going to do that same tip to tip technique right there to blend that out. And you can see it works like a dream. It just blends out nice and pretty. That's the only marker I have problems with. All right, I'm going to come in now with my earth brown blend and color my book up because it's an old book and I wanted it to be nice and brown and have some gold accents, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So just stick around. So we're starting off with our earth brown light, and I'm just filling in that color, filling in the little book. And I think I only show you how to color one of these gnomes because we're going to do the other one about the same way. I'm just going to switch up some of the colors here and there. We're going to switch our reds and our greens up on the other one, so I don't think you have to see that. It's the same process. So I've put in my shadows on my book. Remember, if you have a book that's creased, you're going to have a shadow on both sides, not just one. Because it's over the crease, the binding of the book is overlapping the covers of the book. So you would have a shadow there. So don't forget that. So we're going to add shadow. That's our darkest tone in with the earth brown. And then we're blending that out with our medium tone. And I'm going to blend that out right under his little hands where he's holding it into our light. And then I'm going to come in and just add a little bit along the spine. That's what it is, right? It's a spine, right? Yeah, it's spine. You think I never took a bookbinding class before, because I have in college. That's a whole nother story, though. All right, for his mustache, because I wanted this to be a little Santa gnome instead of just a little storybook gnome. So I'm going to color his little beard white. And I'm just using the ice gray light, the lightest color in that blend, and blending that with a 0 marker that I had in my stash. We're going to use our fair skin tones to color his little nose and his little chin and his little hands. So now we're coming in with our darkest color, and we're going to blend that out with our medium tone of the fair skin blend. And I'm only using the original pack of markers this time, and I actually have every single marker listed in the visual supply list below that I used today. So remember, if anytime you want to purchase a product using my links, these are affiliate links, so I do make a very small commission off of these. But your support, I'm very thankful for when you order off my links, and it does help me keep things going on our channel. All right, so we're going to color our little Santa hat, gnome hat here, and I'm using the dark red blend. I'm filling that in with the dark red light. And I'm going to just fill the whole thing in with that. Besides the little stripes, I'm going to do those in the dull green. So I'm coming back now. I forgot a little spot. Heaven forbid. I'm going to come in and add in where my shadows are. If you have not ever tried these markers, they're great. They're actually very reasonably priced. It's $5. On DickBook, it's like $5 and some change. For the set of 3, you get the 3 markers in one, so it's like $5 and like $4.89 sometimes, and sometimes they even have a sale where you can get them even cheaper. So I definitely recommend them. Or you can do like I did and buy the whole damn set. I bought both sets. I couldn't. I have a fear of, obviously, FOMO, because I had to have the whole set, so I bought them. All right, so we're going to color are little stripes, and I'm not following my rule of using the lightest color first. I just colored the thing in with the darkest and blending that out like I normally do with the light or medium and then the light. I don't know. Sometimes you wonder. Sometimes I just forget. When you get into habit, you get in a habit. So I'm going to color both those up. I did come back in and add the fair skin lightest tone to the books pages because I wanted those to look light. So while I cut all those out with my matching dyes, I cut out a circle, and I'm going to use Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to blend that in and create a circle. And apparently Rick needs to order a re-inker for his ink pad because it's getting a little low. Normally this should be a lot bolder than what it is. So I think I need a re-inker. I need to order re-inkers for all of my Distress Oxide pads. But that costs money, and we will be doing that sporadically as we can. So after we get that out, I'm going to spritz on a little bit of water with my Distress Water Sprayer. What's this called? Distress Sprayer Vaporizer? Well, yeah, okay. Distress Sprayer. We're not saying that last word. Here we're going to fix our little problem where we don't have foiling on our little die cuts. We're going to take and hang them off the edge. Any part where there was foil that did not foil, it's getting hung off the edge. See there, right there on that one. On the other one, we're going to hang that off. And then I can just cut it off, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to fill in the background with the rest of it. Problem solved. So I'm taking my Tim Holtz big, long 9.5-inch scissors and cutting that off. I'm going to cut the other side. And apparently Rick can't cut straight either, so I'll show you how to fix that. I'm just full of it today, y'all. So we're going to come in and piecemeal our other pieces on where we do have foil showing, besides the very, very tip I accidentally let it go over the edge. But it's okay because I'm going to hide that. Don't be afraid to hide your mistakes, y'all. Ain't nobody going to see it. It'll be okay. And now I did use 110-pound Nina Cellar White, and that's what works best for me with the Glimmer machine. But you use whatever cardstock works best for you, boo-boo, because that's the only one I have found that I actually can get to work right without having to put in extra shims and all this other stuff, and I ain't got time for all that. So that's another thing, that if you're having problems to get with your cardstock, maybe it's your cardstock. Get a heavier weight cardstock. Some people have great luck with the Simon Says Stamp glossy cardstock. I bought it. I did not have luck with it, so I go back to my Nina. All right, so all I'm doing here is I put it in my Tim Holtz rotary trimmer, and I'm just barely glazing over the edges to clean up anything. And I'm going to take in my little foil. What started out as a disaster now is a pretty little thing. I'm going to attach that to a piece of foil cardstock that is the matte, what is this, metal holographic cardstock from scrapbook.com. Has several different holographic or cardstocks in there. Excuse me, I did cut a circle out of the center so I could have a matte layer for my little circle, and I'm going to add some adhesive tape to that and some barely art glue because I got to have some wiggle room. Now we're just going to take that and attach it to the front of our card and hide our little boo-boo that's hidden under there, so nobody will even know that that is in there messed up. Now we're going to take, and I'm going to zoom us in for just a second, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to add the little gold details to this. I'm going to take a gold Uniball Signo gel pen, and it's funny that the gold and the silver work way better than the white most of the time. I've had these for years, and they have never messed up. But by George, that white one, it just screws up all the time. So I've added a little sentiment on the front that says Nice List. So Santa's reading his little Nice List book. And then I'm going to add little gold dots to the little circles. And this is going to be my inside sentiment. And I'm just going to write Happy Holiday with my gold Uniball gel pen that works. Why the white one doesn't work all the time, I don't know. But I don't know about that ink. It's just something. So I pulled in my Jelly Roll pen and added some little highlights. And I'm going to come back to my gold Jelly Roll and go over the binding straps of the book. And I'm going to add little gold details to those. But now I'm coming back in with my little white gel pen. And this is the Jelly Roll Bold. It's the one I like the best. And I'm going to add highlights to all my little gnomes and make them nice and pretty. So I have been asked multiple times where I put my highlights. And this is my formula. I put my highlights on the shadowed side because anytime you have an object that is being hit by light, you're going to have a cast highlight on the opposite side 9 out of 10 times. So that's where I go. I will add my highlights right there on that side. Sometimes I'll add them on the highlighted side. It kind of just depends on what I think looks the best. It's easier to put them on the darker than it is the lighter. So that's usually what I go with. And I just add as many as I damn like. All right, so we're going to add our little happy holiday gnome on the inside. And I'm going just touching up some where my marker went outside the line. I'm just using my jelly roll as this car goes by, makes them raising their motor. And we're just going to cover up any little imperfections right there with our jelly roll pen. And that, we're going to pop our sentiment on. That's an easy fix to hide any kind of marker mistakes. I'm trying to decide here where I want to put my sentiment. And I just finally decided that I liked it better kind of at the bottom of the circle. But I am going to pop up my little Santa gnome with some foam tape. And by the way, I hope my little struggles helped y'all. Maybe y'all are struggling with the same thing. And maybe you get a little over struggling that you can't get the foil right. Well, just foil it anyway and cut off what doesn't foil. It's be okay, y'all. I hope this all helps. And if I can talk you through my struggles, maybe it'll help you with your struggles. Maybe you're struggling with the same thing. So I've popped on my little gnome and my little sentiment right there, and I'm going to add some Trinity Crystal Ball Dewdrop Baubles around the card to add just a little bit more sparkle. Like it's not sparkly enough. Well, you got to have a little bauble. So, wouldn't be Christmas without baubles, would it? So we're going to pop on 3 down there by the sentiment. I'm going to pop on 2 up here by my little gnome. And I'm going to pop 2 down below the sentiment. And then I actually think we add a couple more. We add at least one more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got to have an odd number. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I add 2 more. Don't ask me why. I just keep, it's an art thing. I always taught to add things in odd numbers so that they're visually appealing. So that's what I do. So I added one on the little book right under the list, and then I added one right beside the book with his little hand. And that, my friend, finishes our card. Here's a look at the inside, and I hope you like this video. If you do, you will probably like this video coming up next. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Love you.